Hey y'all, I'm coming on here real quick because I started watching this movie earlier today and it had the best, and I do mean the best, that I can call to date example of sin. And I know in the religious sector, and you ain't got to preach to me. I've been saved, sanctified, full of the Holy Spirit since I was born into this world. Do you hear what I'm saying? Okay? I had no choice. Okay? Choice. My mom said, "You always have a choice." Yeah, I did. I could have ran away. Anyway, let me just make this disclaimer. Religion, um, there's a place for it. There's a place for it. Some people need it. Some people need it. It just depends on the soul of your journey. Okay, that's all. You um like I said, some people need to be slapped right on the altar when they come into the world. They have a lot of karmic debt they have to pay back. Some of us are old souls. Um, we've been through the religious, you know, sector. We've been there. We've done that. We got it. We understand our morals and our behavior. Okay, and then you have interplanetary and star seeds who it's so funny. I was watching Coneheads. I gotta say this real quick. I had not saw that movie in like such a very long time. um the first part of the movie, spoiler alert, she was reading what I could only assume was the Bible, Mrs. Conehead, and she was laughing at it. There's not a If there is life, okay, on other planets, let's say on Mars, I do not believe they have the King James Version of the Holy Bible. Okay. Anyway, so light went off. Confirmation. Anyway, so talking about sin, and that word has been just beat into the core of our minds so much to where we were afraid to do anything at all. But me continually asking God, Source, Universe, and my guides, because I understand that nothing really is surface level. Like, you can ask about something today and it's the answer that you get because you can process that information. But let's say you grew a leap and a bound mentally, spiritually overnight, you ask that same question, you could get a different answer because you're able to retain more knowledge. So throughout my journey, I've continued to ask, what is sin? And the answer that I have been getting is, it is abandonment. It is abandoning yourself. Okay? Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. There is this movie on Netflix. I think it is The Woman of the Hour. And I hadn't finished it. I've gotten maybe 30 minutes in, but anyway, she goes to a place to get a drink, 444 on the timer. Oh, she goes to the bar or a place to get a drink with a guy, and they're talking. Anyway, he goes, "Okay, well, let's get another, or let's get another round. And she goes, no, I'm good. You know, I got to get prepared for that big day tomorrow. And they have a little bit of discussion about it. And then she says, you know what? You've been such a good friend. She threw him in the friend zone. He wasn't, I'm not going to say he wasn't expecting it, but that's not where he was looking for this conversation or this interaction to go. He wasn't wanting to be her friend. Anyway, so he then tries to get out of that really quick and kind of tries to brush her hair back, and she moves. She's like, you know, she sees his reaction. She goes into her trauma response of freeze. And then she finds. She starts talking about how, you know, it just felt weird. Her hair was on her shoulder, like in a weird way or something like that. And then, you know, she says she's sorry. And, you know, he makes a comment. And she's like, well, okay, cool. You know, I'm glad you see where I'm coming from. And then she really starts to people please, and she goes, you know what? Let's get another round. Let's get another drink. And the next scene after that, we have her in the bed with him. And I mean, maybe they did the tango. I don't know. But anyway, she was late for her appointment, which is exactly why she said she didn't want to have another drink. It would have been bad had she said that in her head she wasn't going to have another drink, and then she drank it anyway. But when she spoke out of her mouth she was not going to have another drink, he couldn't accept it. And then she said, let's have another drink. She sinned. She abandoned herself. 7:47 on the time. She sought to make his 7:57 his emotions matter more than hers. She had nothing to do with how he received that information of no, she didn't want another drink, and he was a friend to her. And then she went and did exactly what she did not want to happen, which was ruin her day the next day, or at least get off to a bad start. That is how you abandon, you sin, you neglect the Lord your God. This is the Lord your God. Of course, we have a God source universe, but you are an extension of that. And when you abandon the image that everybody sees on this here plane, you abandon this God and you abandon that God. Or the trees, the plants, God is any and everything. That is sin. It's not drinking, it's not smoking, it's not fornication,